Shalom, Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Nakwam, Watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach, Malak Yabushad. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Yahushua. A hearty shalom to you mighty men that go out there and labor and do the work of the Most High, presenting your body as a living sacrifice, and doing all things for the elect's sake, pushing this truth and magnifying the ministry. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the men of the Lord that may not be out there in the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying. They're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Akwath out there, the sincere sisters out there, holding down the households, reverencing their husbands, being submissive and diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom to everybody tuning in live. Metame, Key HOY Buffalo, / Yet Blessed, J Pipes, Lion of Judah, 12 Gates Israelites, Ibad Shah Yahweh, Kazak Doriyav, Dixon 510, Wesley 305. We got next Israel Unknown, Allah Yashai, WFI, Detroit Tribe of Gad, right? And shalom to everybody else I didn't salute. Shalom, peace and blessings be multiplied. The topic of this live stream is shortages in America, Q&A, and late night prophecy, right? Shortages in America, Q&A, and late night prophecy. So what I want to do is I want to spend time going into these shortages in terms of, and it's not just food. You know, a lot of times we talk about the famine or we talk about shortages in America and it's just, you know, summed up as food. But, you know, when you go into it, it's a massive amount of product that the average American company, corporation, warehouse, individuals, families, households use on an everyday basis. And there's beginning to be a shortage. There already was, but it's beginning to be more magnified. Right now, when you pull this up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show this. I'm gonna show this on the screen real quick. Right, bear with me. Now, all I did, I went to food shortages 2021. Right now, it says and there's many different articles. There could be a shortage of damn turkey, whatever, restaurants, right? Food shortages. Now, what I wanted to go into, and there's shortages on many different articles, man. Right? Pandemic era. Here it is. This is what I went into, right? Because this is maybe 2 weeks ago. Now check this out. It says supply shortages continue across the country. Here's the latest list of things hard to find. And this is all prophecy, right? All this is prophecy, man. The Lord said again, right? We're going to go back to Isaiah chapter 19. Look at this madness, right? Oh, thanks. Right? I'm going to go to Isaiah chapter 9 that this is prophecy about America being shut down, man, even on an economic level, right? This Isaiah chapter 19, and I'll start at verse, let's start at 15. I'll start at 14. Isaiah chapter 19 and 14. You know what? I'm going to start at verse 11. Isaiah chapter 19 and 11. Now, Isaiah chapter 19 is a prophecy going into the downfall of America. Now, although it says Egypt, remember, America represents Egypt due to the captivity and the stronghold and philosophies that they carried in ancient Egypt well over 4,000 years ago. So it's the exact same spirit. So this Isaiah chapter 19 and 11. Surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise, it's like the counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings. So Pharaoh's counselors upheld the society, right? All ancient kings had counselors or men that they relied on for political use, military advisors, agricultural advisors. They had all of these men that the king consulted with to be able to keep his economy or keep his society flourishing. And these men in ancient Egypt did that. Now, Isaiah chapter 19 is talking about modern Egypt, right? Your modern day agriculturalists, your modern day people who deal with supply chain management and logistics, your modern day people who are controlling the shipping industry and controlling the different departments that keep the society booming. The Lord said all of them now have become fools because they can't find an answer no matter what they do, what type of package they pass, what type of laws they enforce, what type of how they want to remodel the economy. No matter what they do, there's always going to be supply shortages increasing, famine increasing, unemployment increasing, evictions are going to increase. The racial tension, class wars. There's nothing that no one can do to stop America from going down the drain. That's what this is saying. It says, surely the princes of Zoan are fools. Now, we went into this before, right? Zoan is your modern day New York City, right? Yes, you can read about New York City and Washington, D.C. in the Bible, right? And that's Zoan and North. That's your modern day D.C. and your modern day New York, because those are your top cities in America where you hold your councils to keep the society going. So if you look up Zoan, right, let's see if we could pull this up, right, which was really an ancient city in Egypt, but you have a modern day, right? So it says Zoan means place of departure, right? An ancient city of Lower Egypt called Tanis by the Greeks, located on the eastern bank of the Tanitic branch of the Nile, the capital of the Shepherd dynasty, right? So like this is your modern day DC and New York. So this is the capital of the Shepherd dynasty, built 7 years after Hebron and existing before Abraham, and the dwelling place of Pharaoh at the time of Exodus. So this is your modern day DC. Because where does the president live at? The president lives in the White House. He's your modern day Pharaoh. Right? Didn't the Lord call him Pharaoh? Let's open up another blue letter. Right? Let's open up another blue letter in Ezekiel chapter 29. Right? Or let's open up this so we can go to Ezekiel 29. Right? Because he's your modern day Pharaoh. You have modern day North, modern day Zoan, the modern day pyramids, the modern day obelisk. The obelisk or the Washington Monument just got struck by lightning, man, which is a sign that Egypt is going to be destroyed all over again. And the Lord is sending plagues into Egypt. Right now, I was going to Ezekiel, right? 29, about Pharaoh, right? So Zoan is the headquarters for Pharaoh's dwelling. Ezekiel chapter 29 and 1. In the 10th year, in the 10th month, in the 12th day of the month, the word of Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and prophesy against him and against all Egypt. Now, this is a twofold dart saying prophecy. One on a historical context for Pharaoh, right? And another talking about your modern day Pharaoh, which is your modern day leader, right? Which is your Joe Biden, even the elites who really run things, but the face of it is Pharaoh, you know? And the Lord said, prophesy against him again and against all Egypt. Speak and say, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, the great dragon. That's how you know this is a twofold prophecy, because Esau's called that great dragon, that serpent, right? That lieth in the midst of his rivers, which hath said, my river is mine own, I have made it for myself. See that? So Pharaoh, king of Egypt, he's that great dragon who lieth in the midst of the rivers in a proud spirit. So your modern day Pharaoh, again, is your Biden or your elites who really run the society, right? The dwelling place of Pharaoh during the time of Exodus. So let's go back to Isaiah chapter 19. And if you look up Zoan, let's see. Let's pull that up. See if we can get an image. Like I said, we brought this out before, but we're going to bring it out again. So here's Zoan, right? These are your 7 streams of Egypt. You can read about that in the book of Isaiah. But now it's talking about the complete destruction of America. All right, so Zoan is right here. This is your modern day DC. Right, here's a better map. Right? So this is DC, which is Zoan, and Memphis is your modern day New York or North. Right? So let's go back to Isaiah chapter 19. And the same way that ancient Egypt fell, economically and experiencing, and there was no saving Egypt until Joseph came on the scene. Now, like we brought up before, there is not going to be another Joseph. Once this modern day Egypt goes through a famine and all these supply shortages, there's not going to be a Joseph who's going to go and talk to the elites and say, okay, we're going to save America. It's over. Those days are done away with, man. You know? Isaiah chapter 19 and 11. It reads, surely the princes of Zoan are fools. So all the elites that rule in DC, your congressmen, your senators, the House of Representatives, all of his advisors who sit with him at the Oval Office, or these elites, hey, they become fools, man. They can't save the economy of Babylon the Great. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh has become brutish. How say unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings, right? Where are they now, Slakia? Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, let them know what the Lord of hosts hath proposed upon Egypt. So even the elites, they don't know what the Most High is going to do, man. Right? They're scrambling for answers. They're looking for the truth. They're trying to figure out what can they do to keep the economy going, but they're not going to be able to figure out or come up with a resolution for the Most High's judgments, man. You can't stop the Most High's judgments on the earth, right? It reads, let's read on. The princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Noph are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the state of the tribes thereof. So even the princes of Noph are deceived. Now, when you look up Noph, I believe that's Memphis, right? Not Memphis in America, right? See that? Another name for Memphis, the capital city of Egypt. So this is your New York and your DC, all right? So your top cities of modern day Egypt aren't going to be able to resolve the problems, right? That's what the Lord said, going back to this. It's lucky. It says the princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Noph are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt. And everybody seduced. A lot of people think America is going to make a big comeback. You've been seduced by witchcraft, the propaganda, right? Damn old time slogans, make America great again, right? Yes, we can. Change we can believe in. All right, what was so-called Biden's slogan? Right? I don't even remember, man. Right? Let me see. Presidential. Right? What was this guy's slogan, man? That seduced the people. Right? Well, I'll have to find it. Right? But the point is, people got suckered into it, man. People got suckered into believing that America is going to be able to get back on top. Right? They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the state of the tribes thereof. Now it says, reading on. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. So Egypt is staggering in every work that they do. Any type of activity or any type of resolution that they try to come up with, it never amounts to anything. And they sit there and they have these think tanks and these plans, and they call the top men from the Ivy League schools and men that are senators and wise men. with great IQs, and they study politics and political science majors, and they try to come up with these different types of tactics. But what did the Lord say? The Lord mingled a perverse spirit, meaning the Lord sent a demon from the third heaven to come into the minds of the people in America and make them make wrong decisions to get America to fall. And there was a time when the Lord didn't have a perverse spirit in America to make them to err. There was a time when the Lord had America prospering, right? During the times of hardcore slavery, the Industrial Revolution, 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and the 60s. That was really the height of American lifestyle, man. But then the Lord said it's time for them to go down, right? The Lord said, from thence I shall bring thee down. And then the Lord took that spirit of prosperity off of America and sent the perverse spirit in the midst thereof. And what is this demon doing? Now, this perverse spirit is nothing but a demon. There is demonic activity taking place in America. And what is it doing? And they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. And we know a drunken man can't do nothing successful, right? He's falling, slipping, slurring, right? He's already finished. Here's the point. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. So there's not going to be any work for Egypt, man. Right? No more retail jobs, no more trucking industry, right? No more a damn agricultural industry, right? Supply shortages continue across the country. Here's the latest list of things that are hard to find, right? So let's check this out. It says, Slocky, bear with me. Tacos, coffee, jet fuel, computer chips, Nike shoes, school supplies. What do they have all in common? They're impossible to find and getting there. Shortages are popping up across the supply chain as the pandemic messes with shipping, demand, supply, and all other levers of the global economy. One expert said the pervasive, hey, check that out. The Lord mingled a perverse spirit. See how the spirit worked, man. Isaiah chapter 19 says there's a perverse spirit in Egypt. And how did the Most High had an article come out? Right? One expert said the pervasive shortages might last well into 2022. You see that? And if there is no jet fuel, you're not going to be able to go into a city, man. Right? You're not going to be able to travel across the country. You're not going to be able to take international flights, right? You're not going to be able to damn get the computer, shoes, all this stuff. And this is just a few of the things. Why? Because there's a pervasive shortage, man. A perverse spirit. What is the definition of perverse? Right? What is the definition of perverse? All right, it says, of a person or their actions showing a deliberate and obstinate desire to behave in a way that is unreasonable or unacceptable, often in spite of consequences, right? Synonyms: awkward, contrary, difficult, unreasonable, uncooperative, right? Obstructive. So the Lord has a contrary, difficult, unreasonable spirit in Babylon the Great. Right? And even they're coming on their articles and saying there's a perverse shortage. And they saying this could last well into 2022. Right? It says, here's what's hard to get, why, and for how long, according to CNN business reporters. Right? So they say, I'm not going to read this whole article, but they say cars are hard to find, computer chips, coffee. All right, what else? Jet fuel, right? It says there's not enough jet fuel at several Western U.S. airports to meet the increased demand for leisure travel. This could end up causing some flights to be canceled or force airlines to make extra stops to fuel up on longer routes, right? Part of the problem is a shortage of tank truck drivers. And we've been saying there's going to be a shortage, Zalakia. We've been saying it's going to be a shortage of truck drivers, right? And all these guys, that they're the ones responsible for bringing in your consumer products, right? And all types of wear and merchandise into your local department store, grocery store, right? Even some mom and pop shops. Hey, guess what? These truck drivers, they're not working anymore. So if the truck drivers aren't working anymore, how are you going to expect to receive your merchandise? Especially fuel, man. You know? It says part of the problem is a shortage of tank truck drivers needed to deliver fuel. An estimated 20% of tankers nationwide are parked due to a lack of qualified drivers, according to an industry trade group. That shortage has already been affecting gas stations. See that? Eventually, hey, ain't nobody going to be able to drive them trucks and get that gas going, man. You know? Airports, gas stations. Hey, certain places, gas is like $7. You know? Somebody via Instagram, they was taking pictures or doing like a quick video of the gas prices in the area. I can't remember where it was, but it was almost $7. You know? So it says shoes, school supplies, right? They're talking about damn Taco Bell, but there are many things that are listed amongst the shortages in Babylon the Great. Now, I also had this article that says no work, no food, right? The pestilence pandemic deepens global hunger, right? So this ties in too. No work, no food. Let's go to the Apocrypha. Let's go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, right? These are the upcoming signs of famine, right? Yeah, we talk about Jacob's trouble, right? You talk about the Taliban in Afghanistan and what's going on and China invading Taiwan, but also we can't neglect the signs of the famine coming to America. There will be a famine, you know? That's prophesied all throughout the Bible. Let's go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, and we'll start at verse 22, right? 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So a lot of these full storehouses, these department stores, your Sam's Club, your Walmarts, your BJ's, your Costco's, right? And any type of damn big department store for food, the Lord said that the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. No work, no food, lack of qualified truck drivers, people starving, people don't have work. You see that? And that's going to lead, these are stepping stones to any economy crashing. Right? Anybody, even top political scientists and men that deal with the government, they know that this society is going down. Right? That's why they're making articles like this. Everybody knows this. No work, no food. Right? The pandemic deepens global hunger. Now check this out. An estimated 270 million people are expected to face potentially life-threatening food shortages this year, compared to 150 million before the pandemic, according to the analysis from the World Food Program. And they study these things, man. They study what countries are getting the most food, how much food is being wasted by the pound. They study all these different things, man. So they're saying 270 million people, right? Let's go back to the Apocrypha, man. Right? Let's go back to 2nd Ezra. And a lot of brothers, like I said, they don't like us going into 2nd Ezra, right? But we're going to stay in there, man. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 18, right? Let me pull it up on here, right? So everyone can look, right? We're going to pull it up, man. Food shortages are here. And eventually you're going to go to your local grocery store. And right now, I remember during the time of when that pestilence first kicked off, it was hard to find any food, especially meat. And if you did find meat, you might have found something that used to be $9.99, then it turned to $19.99. So prices are going to increase and people aren't going to be able to afford that food. You get a damn bag of apples, it's $40. I remember there was an article on that too. I'll have to find it on End Time Headlines. They said, are you prepared to pay $45 for an apple? And a lot of people said, no, we're not ready for that. People are getting evicted. You ran out of your unemployment, your government assistance. You're not getting another stimulus check anytime soon, as far as I know. It's hard to get a so-called job. The eviction moratorium, if I'm pronouncing that right, expired. So people are going to be on the streets. You're not going to be able to eat. This is a damn great mix and a sure sign that a famine and economic collapse is coming to America. We just read it in Isaiah chapter 19. And we just read it in 2 Ezra 6 that the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. This is not a game. Right? Let's go back to 2 Ezra. So a lot of brothers, man, if you're not in this truth, I'll say that. Get ready to starve. Now, if you're in this truth and you believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and the Most High has mercy on you according to his will, then you'll fare well. Right? But if you're not under the protection of the Most High, you're going to be caught out there. You're going to have to deal with it, man. You know? 2 Ezra chapter 16 and I want 28. Right? Salaki, I want bear with me. 18. 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 18. Bear with me. Right? 2 Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning, Salakia. Bear with me 1 second. Bear with me. Right, I want to open this up. Right, so we can all look at this. All right, this 2 Ezra chapter 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine, plague, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So the Lord said the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death. And you're experiencing the beginning of famine, right? You're literally living in the beginning stages of the famine. These are your preliminary stages before the global famine actually kicks off, right? We just saw that 270 million people are expected to starve. People are going to be on the streets, broke. Prices are going to increase. All hell is going to break loose, man. Right? So let's go back to this. An estimated 270 million people are expected to face potentially life-threatening food shortages this year, compared to 150 million before the pandemic, according to analysis from the World Food Program. Right? So let's go on. Look at this. That's how it's going. People just want a little bit of rice. See, that guy got 1 grain of rice. He got 2. He got 5. He got 9. And they're content with that. Right? If they get to eat those 2 grains of rice, and they got to share that with 7 other people. So that somebody's going to die. Somebody's not going to make it. Because these are our kids' hands, man. Now they can bring it back to their family, you know, but somebody's not going to make it. So let's go on. Right? The situation is particularly bleak in Africa, where new infections have surged. The economic catastrophe set off by the pestilence, now deep into its 2nd year, has battered millions of people In South Africa and many other countries, far more have been pushed over the edge. An estimated 270 million people are expected to face potentially life-threatening food shortages this year, compared to 150 million before the pandemic. According to analysis from the World Food Program, the Anti-Hunger Agency of the United Nations, the number of people on the brink of famine, the most severe phase of a hunger crisis, jumped to 41 million people, currently from 34 million last year. And that's spiritual. It jumped to 41 million, right? So it went from 34 to 41, that's 7 million. It says the World Food Program sounded the alarm further last week in a joint report with the UN's Food and Agricultural Organization, warning that the conflict, the economic repercussions of the pestilence, and the climate crisis are expected to drive higher levels of acute food insecurity and 23 hunger hotspots over the next 4 months, mostly in Africa, but also Central America, Afghanistan, and North Korea. See that? If you live in these 23 hunger hotspots, I want to look that up, man. What are the 23 hunger hotspots, man? What are these hunger hotspots? You know? See, they're not gonna. I'm not really going too deep into it, but I would expect this in the land of East Africa, right? Look at them fight. That's how it's going to be. You got what? 1, 2, 3 Hamites, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them fighting for a little bowl of rice. And this is coming to America. A lot of people say, well, that's over there. And it never come here. Hey, guess what? All these fast food places are going to be shut down. Like I said, your local Walmarts, you know, you're not going to be able to order that pizza, that damn Domino's and Pizza Hut. Forget about it, man. You better save your damn leftovers. You better not waste that food. I'm talking to the 2/3, right? Most of I wonder we're not caught in that number, but the 2/3 and the rest of the inhabitants of the earth, right? Look how it's going to be, man. These are the days that are coming to the earth. So let's go back to this, right? So this is in spanning damn 4 continents: Africa, Central America, right? Afghanistan and North Korea. That's global, right? And if it's in Central America, man, they already have a high crime rate. A lot of Zebuloners out there, right? The situation is particularly bleak in Africa, where new infections have surged. I don't know how much I'm going to read on this. Right? Okay, it's almost done. All right, it reads, let's see. I'm going to just jump down to the point. Okay, it reads, let me read on. In recent months, aid organizations have raised alarms about Ethiopia, where the number of people affected by famine is higher than anywhere in the world, and southern Madagascar, where hundreds of thousands are nearing famine after an extraordinary severe drought. Now I'm going to jump down to here. I have never seen it as bad globally as it is right now. And he studied these things, man. They study this for decades. A lot of these guys, they major in these things. They study the management. They go into the policies, the diplomatic affairs. And he came out and said, I've never seen it as bad globally as it is right now. Right? Amir Daoudi, Senior Director of Operations of the World Food Program, said, describing the food security situation, usually you have 2, 3, 4 crises, like conflicts, famine at one time. But now we're talking about quite a number of significant crises happening simultaneously across the globe, right? So you have a global so-called famine and food shortages coming on the earth, man. right? And you best believe it's coming to Babylon the Great. Right, let's go to Psalms chapter 37. Right, let's go to Psalms chapter 37. And if you're not protected by the Most High, you're going to starve. I'm going to tell you straight up, you're going to starve. You're not going to be able to eat. And when there's no food, crime is going to increase. Crime is going to increase. That means theft is going to increase. Robbery, larceny, you understand? Deceit, treachery. That's what the Lord said, iniquity shall abound. And a lot of that iniquity abounding is based off of people's economic situations on the earth. And they're going to make moves. And they're going to have to do things they never thought that they would do before. Right? People that never stole food and they were innocent and upright and great citizens of America, they're going to be looking to steal and do what they have to do for their family. Right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 37. Right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 37 and we'll start at, let's see, Psalms 37 and 25. Right? It reads, I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. He is ever merciful and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. So David said, I have been young, but now I'm old. But in my long years of life and experience, I have never seen a righteous man begging for food. Right? His seed begging bread. I've never seen it. That's what David says. So if you're under the protection of the Most High through faith in Yahweh Shai, you're keeping the commandments, right? And you're sincere and without guile, guess what? You're not going to be begging for bread. Now, a lot of people, they're going to be going to the local FEMA camp. The FEMA camp, they're going to say we have food rations or rations for the people, right? They're going to be giving out little MRE foods, or they're going to be giving out little portions to the people in these FEMA camps. And a lot of people are going to go there because they're going to get weak. They know that they don't have their best interest at heart. But when your stomach and you haven't eaten in 5 days, 6 days, a week, people are going to go to those FEMA camps. And they're going to get that thing inside their body, right? They're going to put that poison in their body willingly for a cracker. Maybe a cracker, maybe some soup, and maybe a piece of bread. Maybe. That's what they're going to do. These days are coming on the earth where the Lord is going to break the staff of bread in Egypt. Right? Let's go to Genesis 41. And I'm going to go back to Psalms. Actually, let me get this precept in the same book of Psalms, the 37th chapter. Right? This Psalms chapter 37 and verse 18. Right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 37 and 18. It reads, the arms of the wicked shall be broken. I see that the sister says she came from the local Winn-Dixie. There's hardly no food on the shelves. Right? You see that? So this Psalms 37 and 18. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. See that? So the Lord knows the days of the upright. The Lord knows how long you're going to be on the earth, how long you're going to make it through Jacob's trouble, how long you're going to live on the earth tomorrow. And the Lord said, what? They shall not be ashamed in the evil time. Now, the evil time is Jacob's trouble. You're going to have faith in those days. Now, it says, and in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied. Why is David prophesying about the days of famine? Because famine is coming on the earth. All of these shortages, the economic collapse, this is part of America's downfall. Yeah, we know America is going to be destroyed by the missiles. We're not saying that that's not going to happen, but it's going to crumble internally before it's destroyed externally. So it's going to break down from within. You already see it breaking down. You look at the infrastructure falling apart. You got towers collapsing, bridges collapsing, the roads are done, right? Things are outdated. They got I believe I did a video on that. They got a or C- on the infrastructure grade. So they're already crumbling from within. The minds of the people are rebelling against the other people. Right? You got the people that took the poison get into an actual fight with people that didn't take the poison. And blood is touching blood. Right? Let's go to Genesis. Right? Let's go to Genesis chapter 41. Right? This Genesis chapter 41 and verse 28. It reads, "This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What the Most High is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh." Now this happened in ancient Egypt. But what the Most High is about to do, he's showing you right now, man. He just struck the Washington Monument with lightning. And remember that monument really goes back to ancient Egypt, which is an obelisk, right? And that being struck by lightning is a sign that Egypt is going to be destroyed all over again. Right? Let's read on. I'm going to read that again. Genesis 41 and 28. "This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What the Most High is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt." Now this literally happened, but it happened again. America had their 7 years of great plenty, meaning spiritual 7 years. They had their heydays, right? They had their days of the Great Gatsby. They had their days of living on a plantation and watching Jake work. They had their days of the Industrial Revolution. They had their days. They had their heyday. 7 years of great plenty already came to America. A spiritual 7 years, right? It reads, "And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land." And that's going to happen all over again. But now that 7 that was once literal, now it's going to be spiritual. So you're going to have 7 years of famine coming to America, and all the plenty is going to be forgotten. People are going to forget about buffets. People, because those days are over with. Right now, you can literally go to a buffet at damn 10 a.m. and you could stay there as long as you want. You don't have to leave. They're not going to kick you out and say you ate too much. You can literally go to your nasty buffet, right? And eat all damn day. And then, take a nap in your chair and then wake back up and eat all over again. But those days are going to be forgotten. Right? Those days are going to be forgotten. The days of plenty shall not be remembered. Right? You can order Domino's, your local pizza. Everybody got Grubhub, DoorDash, Postmates. What's the other one? Instacart. Everybody has these things, man. You can get anything. You got leftovers you haven't eaten in your fridge for 3 weeks. You might be in an apartment complex. You might have a vending machine downstairs. You might have a mini fridge in a den. You might have a big ass house with a den. You might have a mini fridge, then a wine cooler. You might have a deep freezer over here, then a deep freezer over there. All that stuff is about to be done. People can their own goods, right? And the mason jars and make their own things. The Lord said what? Genesis 41 and 30. "And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land, and the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous." See that? And it's going to be very grievous, man. People are going to eat people, right? People are going to eat people, man. People are going to be damn digging in the trash cans, dumpster diving. Dumpster diving is going to come back on the earth. I mean, people do it, but now people are ashamed. It's pretty much frowned upon. You see people diving in the dumpster, people kind of turn their head, they kind of point. You might take out their phone and kind of make a video, put it on damn TikTok. Hey, you're going to be out there, man. Them people that was recording, turning their head, they're going to be dumpster diving, right? They're going to be going to these where they send the dump trucks, right? wherever they go, the damn dump, not the dump truck, the garbage, the people that come and take the garbage every week and they drop it off at the damn thing, people are going to be going there, man. That's going to be a hot spot. A lot of crime is going to be there because people are going to try to take that place over. That's going to be one of the first places they're going to try to lock down. And if you have a stronghold and you conquered that place, you'll fare well, but you have to defend it because people are going to want food. Right? People going to want that food, man. Like I said, if you in the back of a damn warehouse or whatever, let's go to Second Esdras. People going to do what they have to do, man. Right? Let's go to Second Esdras. I just pull it up on the screen. Right? Let's go. Let's pull it up. Let's go to Second Esdras chapter 15. All right, like the brother said, when people are hungry, they go off. They do what they got to do. Right? Second Esdras chapter 15 and verse 8. I'm gonna start at 8, but I'm gonna jump up. Right? It reads, I'm gonna get straight to the point. I'm gonna start at 10, but then I'll jump up. Second Esdras chapter 15 and 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Right? And the famine happened on Egypt. The Lord sent the locusts and destroyed all of the crops, and they had to go through a famine. Right? And these plagues are coming back on the earth. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting hail and with the fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Right? Now I'm going to jump down. Verse 19. A man, Second Esdras 15 and 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right? And we bring that out all the time. A man is going to rob his neighbor. Right? Because his neighbor has food and he doesn't have food. But he's not going to, he may ask nicely. Right? He may ask nicely right now, you know, that can I borrow a cup of sugar, spirit? Right? People ask nice and people reply even nicer. Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Here, take 2. Right? People are friendly now. You know, people, you know, a lot of these restrictions, they're not like what they used to be. So people are a lot more excited. They're a lot more happy, a lot more friendly. They'll hold the door for you. You can knock on your neighbor's door. Can I get some rice? Hey, they'll give you that. But the days are coming where they're not going to ask nicely. They're going to take it. Right? They know that you already have it. People invite people into their homes. They open up the kitchen. Can I get you something to eat? They open up the fridge. People kind of seeing what's in the fridge. They're going to know if you have food. They're going to know if you have food, man. If they hear plates, damn bowls shifting and running and silverware and cutlery, hey, they're going to kind of do what they have to do. Where do we read it? In the Apocrypha in the Bible. A man shall have no pity, Slaki, upon his neighbor. You know? And that's another good precept from Yasha'Allah, Second Esdras chapter 5 and 9. Right? And salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into a secret chamber. Right? Let's go to Mark chapter 13. Right? Let's go to St. Mark chapter 13. So these days are on the earth, man. Right? And if you can't see it, then I don't know what to tell you. You got food shortages, famine. China's about to invade Taiwan, saying America's not going to do nothing about it. The Taliban, damn so-called, took over Afghanistan. It's earthquakes every day. It was a blood moon this past Saturday, and it was 13 blood moons 2 weeks, 3 weeks before that. You got famines on the earth. You got pestilence. You got the beginning of wars. How are you not living in the end of the world? What's hard to see that? How is that hard to see? You have uproars of the people. You have the seditions, right? You have the commotions. You have fearful sights in the heaven. You got the sun pitch red. You got chariot sightings. You got the Israelites waking up. You got the economy of America is going down. Damn, Jerusalem is on fire. It's then they say it's coming to the houses now. People dying from wildfires all over the earth. You're in the end. You're in the end. This is it, right? Let's go to Mark chapter 13, right? You know, all these prophecies are coming to pass, man. Right? St. Mark 13:8. It reads, "For a nation shall rise against nation, a kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places. And there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows." See that? So these are the beginning of sorrows, man. Right? Famines, troubles. You understand? Pestilence, outbreak. They got more disease, like we brought out yesterday. They got monkeypox, and there's another disease they say is similar to so-called Ebola. You know, so just prepare for things worse before they get better. To get worse before they get better. Hey, the Lord said, "Better is the end of a thing." Let's get that in Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Right? Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. Right? And you're living in the end of a thing. Right? Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and 8. It reads, "Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit." Right? So a lot of brothers, you don't understand that the Most High is letting you know that you're living in the end, because a lot of brothers aren't watching. And it's better to be in the end of this place than the beginning. Right? And I hate to be here right now and it's damn 1592 or 1619 or 1492. And I gotta live for a long time. Now it's 2021 and I'm over 400, 500 years old, 600 years old. Now I'd rather be born in the end of this place, man, as this place is going out. Right? I don't want to be here damn 1,000 more years. You know? Let's go to Psalms chapter 105 and verse 16. Right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 105 and verse 16. Let's get another precept on this famine coming to the earth. Right? Similar to what happened in ancient Egypt. Right? That was Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. Now this Psalms chapter 105 and verse 16. Right? It reads, "Moreover, he called for a famine upon the land. He brake the whole staff of bread." And that's what the Lord is doing. He called for a famine. Now, when you read Sirach chapter 39 and verse 28 on down, you read about spirits created for vengeance. And some of those spirits actually cause famine. You have demons that dwell on the left-hand side of the Most High, who comes down and manipulates the soil, the ground, even the minds of the people to not be able to produce and have that so-called green thumb, and that leads to the famine. There are demons on the earth manipulating elements in the mind of the people, causing them to err and lead to a famine coming on what? On a global level, right? On a global level. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 15 and 1. All right, let's go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 15 and 1. Right? And for those that just tuned in, you'll be able to see it, man. I pulled up the article, "No work, no food, and food shortages in 2021. Over 270 plus million people are on the verge of a starvation." And you know it's coming to America, right? Jeremiah chapter 15 and 1. It reads, "Then said the Lord unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth." The Lord said, "Tell Israel to get away from me." Right? He raised up Jeremiah and said, "Hey, look, I had righteous men before me, but these people are so wicked, I'm gonna just cast them out of my sight." But check this out. This is Jeremiah 15 and 2. "And it shall come to pass, if they shall say unto thee, whither shall we go forth?" So a lot of people, They'll say, well, what do we do? What's going to happen in these last days? Right? These are men that wasn't listening. Right? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and to destroy. So that's all the Lord has in store for the people. People that don't want to listen, come back to the Most High. The Lord says, such as are for death to death, such as are for the famine to the famine, such as are for the captivity to the captivity. So people are going to, they have famine coming. The 2/3, you're literally not going to be able to eat. Now, when you read 2 Kings, like I said, for sake of time, I'll pull it up, right? 2 Kings, the 6th chapter. I don't want this to be too long, right? But in 2 Kings, the 6th chapter, you had people eating their own kids. They literally had to eat their own kids, right? Another good precept from Yasha'Allah, right? Acts 11:28, it reads, and there stood up one of them named Agabus, and that was a prophet, right? You can read about him in Acts chapter 15 too, right? It reads, named Agabus, and signified by the Spirit that there should be a great dearth. A dearth is a famine throughout all the world. And it came to pass in the days of Claudius Caesar. See that? That's playing upon tables, right? So let's get this in 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 25, right? 2 Kings chapter 6 and 25. It reads, and there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it, until the ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and a 4th part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. So it got so bad in Samaria, they were eating bird feces, right? And skulls. That's how it's going to get. People are going to be eating bird feces, scraping off of windows, skulls, belts, pants, girdles, grass, leaves, flowers, dandelions. You're going to eat that flower in your vase, right? You know that your great grandmother and your mother, they got that vase in their house with them flowers. You're going to go over there. You're going to steal those flowers. You're going to eat them, right? People are going to be doing all types of things that they never thought that they would do, right? People never thought that they would do these things, man. People that steal, even Jake, man, Jake that has to rob, you don't have no money, you broke. You never thought, hey, when your stomach is growling and you haven't eaten, people got spirits on them, man. They even make commercials about that. They say, you're not you when you're hungry. Eat a Snickers. Those are demons on those people, man. People are going to have more demons on them than ever before. So let's read on. So people were starving and they had to eat a skull and eat a bird feces. Let's read on. And you had people that were selling that stuff. So they had a monopoly on it, right? 2 Kings 6 and 26. And the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help, my lord, O king. And he said, if the Lord do not help thee, when shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the winepress? So at least I can't do nothing for you. If the Lord can't do nothing for you, you know I can't do nothing for you. We won't have nothing in the winepress or we have nothing at the barn floor. And the king said unto her, what aileth thee? Meaning, what's the deal? What's wrong? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her the next day, give thy son that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son. You see that? And she hath hid her son. So they made a deal. We're going to eat my son today. We're going to eat your son tomorrow. So they did eat her son that day. But it was time to eat the other son. She said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember making that deal. I don't know where my son is at. Right? After they just ate her son. Now, I don't tell you how old her son was. It didn't say 5 years old. It didn't say 30. It didn't say 15. And we don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows except the Lord how old those sons were. And that's the mentality, and that's Eve. Eve, you already abort your baby at a phenomenal rate, right? You have over 75 million abortions since 1975. You twerking when you get an abortion. You burning your kid. You have women going to the damn club and they babies dying in house fires, babies grabbing guns, doing all types of madness. So Eve, no doubt they ate their babies, right? And they're gonna, that's part of Deuteronomy 28:56 on down. So Eve is gonna eat their babies all day. Eve, you got Eve, I don't eat that. I don't drink water, right? You got Eve saying, I don't drink water, right? I only eat this. You can't afford me. Take me here. Only go to this restaurant. And you're going to be eating your son, right? Your son in that day. And that's how it's going to go, man. Right? Damn, hit him upside the head with a rock, poke him with a stick. But people are going to do these things. So you have to be on your watch, man, because you don't want to face that judgment, right? You don't want to face that judgment. So like I said, this article, if you want to look it up, no work, no food, the pestilence pandemic deepens global hunger. An estimated 270 million people are expected to face potentially life-threatening food shortages this year, right? Then we also went into the food supply shortages, right? We went into rising prices, product shortages. Salakia. We didn't go into this article. All right, but it's pretty much going into the same thing, right? And the point of the matter is, all hell is about to break loose. So if you don't repent, get your mind right, and come back to the Most High, you're going to be caught out there. You have to deal with it. But with that, I'm going to close up. Brother Naquam, Watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh Shemi Awashai. Most High willing you was edified. Kwam Yashala. Shalom.